Gilly, if you would like to come set up your microphone, I don't want to touch your toys. I'd like to open the floor to whoever wants to say something, even if you don't know what you're going to say when you get up there.
Like me?
You too. Here I come.
Thank you.
Way to go. Where'd it go?
Her waterproof makeup is waterproof, right, Savannah?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is really happening. I tried to write what I was going to speak about. The Spirit's like, no, don't write. Don't write. Tay and I, two very independent, happily independent women, bought our homes, raised our family, and enjoyed it, and had each other to talk to get through it by the fires in the winter, resisting this moment. But I want to speak about divine love. If I can. It supersedes everything that we think love is. Divine love is ordained in heaven. And when our spirits recognize and see that love, we can run, we can hide, we can love and play and try. But the blessing is that it's inevitable. It's inevitable. But having the courage to surrender to that divineness, it's a lot, and congratulations on that. And then I moved because, yes, I got married a year and a half ago, I think. And I know that this is just the beginning. It's beautiful, and you think, wow, it just can't get better than this. But it does, daily. So, another joy that you guys are going to have, that you had. Congratulations. Congratulations. You both so deserve the honoring love from one another that you give to each other. Congratulations.
Ezra has a song he'd like to sing for you.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
I'd like to thank the Academy. Oh, wait, that's the wrong one. Sorry. So how I know that Teddi and Max are meant to be together, there's, well, two reasons. Number one, they all have so many names. It's like Herschel, Svi, Max, Teddy, Tracy, Tay, I've lost count. But anyway, I'm afraid if they don't get married, they'll just keep on having all these names. And we just need to solidify it, so. Anyway, no, seriously. So we've been friends since we were 10, and the first time I heard about Teddi before I even saw her. And everyone's like, oh, have you met Teddi? Because I was new at the school, and I was like, no, who's he? And, like, no, it's a girl. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll meet this person. And then I was in the hallway going, I think, to the lunchroom. It was near the music room, and I heard everyone go, Teddi, 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 Teddi. And it was like everybody was going, Teddi, Teddi, like she was a superstar. And I see this girl with this blue T-shirt that said Teddi on the back and like felty letters and everything. And this girl just was so radiant. Like everyone gravitated toward her. And she still has that all, throughout her life. And, but then, of course, we grew up, boys got in the way, and boys ruined everything. But, and boys, I've seen some good, some not so good, some really not so good. And what I always saw so-and-so's girlfriend, so-and-so's girlfriend, and that girlfriend was different every single time. But when I first met Max, before he was even in the room, because we were meeting at like a Starbucks or something, I could see Teddi again, finally, and it was like I predicted that that's the one. So before she even knew it, I knew. So anyway, okay. Thank you.
I actually have two things to say. A little while ago, my esteemed son received his doctorate, and I told him, welcome to the foothills. Now, my dears, it's been a long dawn. Welcome to the sunrise. If my mother, actually, Teddi met my mother once, and I was there, and you could hear the connection happen, like a guitar string that's in tune the first time you pluck it. They did not meet again, but my mother tended to write such appropriate things for special occasions, and you would read them and you would say, yes. And then if you happened to go back and read them, a few years later, you'd say, oh, yes, that too. She's not available to write something, but this is something by one of the authors that she valued very highly, Anne Morrow Lindbergh, from her book, Gift from the Sea. And the fact that it is already familiar to Teddi surprises me not at all. When you love someone, you do not love them all the time in exactly the same way from moment to moment. It is an impossibility. It is even a lie to pretend to. And yet, this is exactly what most of us demand. We have so little faith in the ebb and flow of life, of love, of relationships. We leap at the flow of the tide and resist in terror its ebb. We are afraid it will never return. We insist on permanency, on duration, on continuity, when the only continuity possible in life, as in love, is in growth, in fluidity, in freedom, in the sense that the dancers are free, barely touching as they pass, but partners in the same pattern. The only real security is not in owning or possessing, not in demanding or expecting, not in hoping even. Security in a relationship lies neither in looking back to what was in nostalgia, nor forward to what it might be in dread or anticipation, but living in the present relationship and accepting it as it is now. And now. And now. Relationships must be like islands. One must accept them for what they are here and now within their limits. Islands surrounded and interrupted by the sea, and continually visited and abandoned by the tides.
Many of you know my father would be talking your ear off by now. So in his place, we have Mr. Nicholas.
Mom, can you lower it down?
You want to hold it?
Can you lower it? So what I wanted to say is that I came here from all the way from the mountains and to see this special occasion. And when I see that smile on Svi's face, it makes me really happy. Because when Svi's happy, basically I'm happy. Because I think he's one of the nicest people I've ever met. And I could have driven from like 6 hours away. I could have driven from space here to see Svi at this special occasion. That's all I wanted to say.
I've known Herschel, Svi, Max, H, whatever you want to call him, for, we decided, 13 years now. I met him in college, and I just have to share this one embarrassing story, and then I'll get it out of the way. So if anyone knew Herschel 13 years ago, he had long black hair and a trench coat and a skull ring to boot. Yes. And so I walked in, I was late. It was freshman year, and it was general chemistry lab, so I knew I was going to need a partner, and I walk in late, and there's one seat next to that guy. So my thought was, lesson number 1 of college, never be late to lab again. But in the end, obviously, I picked the best partner without even picking him, and he became my best friend, and I'm shaking. And I wouldn't change a thing. And so actually my new lesson is, go ahead and be late to chemistry. It'll totally pay off in the end. So in the end, Herschel and I actually ended up being roommates for a while. And I met my husband, and we bought a house. And we still ended up roommates for a while. And that's pretty much when Teddi stepped in. And so I had more of a rent check than a roommate at that point. Because he decided to spend a lot of time in Grand Junction. So winter would come, and so he would cross mountains, and it wouldn't matter. Obviously, mountains could not separate them. He moved to California. States could not separate them. And then I started getting really worried because he actually got an opportunity to go to Rome. And I'm like, oh, this isn't looking good. But as many of you know, she went to Rome as well. So that tells me oceans cannot separate them. So over the years, it's pretty clear, I think, probably planets could not separate you guys. And it's just been amazing to even be a part of this journey for you guys. So congratulations. So, can I hug them?
Wow. Mountains, oceans, all of that stuff, that's a hard act to follow. The time that I've spent with Teddi has all been about growth and finding who I am. Anybody who knows Teddi will grow. It's just natural. Max, I don't know you that well, but I can tell just that you will grow and Teddi will both grow. That's, if you guys have waited, what, 6 years, 7 years? There's no denying it. You're gonna grow, you're gonna love, you're gonna grow in love. I'm so happy for you both. I guess that's all I have to say. Continue to grow.
Hey, I love you guys. I love these people. I've known Teddy for 9 years, as well as Danny, a little bit longer. And I love them both like they're my sisters. And I'm gonna not cry. But I've seen Teddy really happy, and I've seen her really down. And this is the happiest I've ever seen her, is when she's with Max. I'm so happy that she'll have him in her life. From now on. That's all. I know.
So the first time I saw Max, Svi, whatever you want to go by these days, was when when I was taken to see him at the hospital. And I wasn't very enthusiastic. And they brought him home, and I was even less enthusiastic. And then one day, my father was changing him, and the phone rang. And back then, we didn't have cell phones, so he had to leave to answer the phone. And he said, "Watch your brother." And he walked away, and Svi was... and Svi was just lying there. There was no way you could have rolled off the table. And we stared at each other for what felt like a half hour, and was probably a half a minute. And then he smiled. And people have told me he was too young to smile, but I know my brother's smile, and he smiled. And he kept that huge, beautiful, wide smile that just takes over his whole face for a long time. And he lost it for a little while. It came out to play sometimes, but it wasn't part of him. And then he met Teddi. And I saw it when he was talking about her, apparently before their first date. And it's come back more and more and more. And I see it every time I see him now. That same huge smile that made me happy I had a brother. And now it also makes me happy that in addition to the awesome one my parents gave me, my brother gave me yet another sister.
I love you both.
You want to go? You want to go give them hugs? That's all.
"17 years ago, I met Teddi. I didn't know it was the first day of her blossoming into the everything she is today. I met her at a bar, and before you get the wrong idea, I was actually working there. She was standing on one of the speakers trying to see because she's a little height challenged. She was trying to see over the crowd. We were in a dueling piano bar. It was a lot of fun. And I asked her if she could please get down because I had to be there to do security. And she then asked me to sing. And I'm like, awesome. I would love for you to sing. So the first introduction to Teddi was singing at the pianos in front of a crowd. Absolutely amazing. We've now got 17 years of knowing each other. Max, Ronan, Herschel, yes, just like everybody else has said, when you guys met at our place, it's amazing. So back to those 3 words. I love you both.
Max and Teddy. You know, sometimes things make sense and sometimes things don't make sense. And what I love about these two is they communicated their way through all the things that didn't make sense till they finally realized, you know, we kind of make sense. And, you know, these are Danny and Teddy are my adopted family, and of course Max is smarter than me, and that doesn't make me happy on some levels. But we love to have some good discussions. And I personally, when I first met Max, well, not the first time, he just came off of Burning Man, so he's a little burned. But soon after, I just realized that, you know, this man's intentions are phenomenal. Not everyone in life knows what they need to do in life or knows what they want. And Max has always been steadfast. And that is such an educational thing to realize in life what you want. And he convinced Teddy that, yes, I want you. And Teddy finally went, yeah. She is blonde after all. I just wish you two the best. I love you both. I'm really, really proud to see you two together. And of course, and then we have Danny, who I can't wait to see, you know, evolves, because Max is really, really wonderful for Danny too. So all in all, it's just beautiful. Thank you for having me here, guys, and bless you in all ways.
So I was joking to Jacob when I first came here that it would be great if they had food when we first arrived. I was kind of hungry. You know, the ceremony takes a while. Like, every single person in this room obviously wants to say something. But actually, what they should have brought instead was tissue boxes, because I basically felt like crying every few minutes. I think everyone else feels that way as well. And I was not expecting that, but it's so touching. Everything you guys said, and I think all of us can feel what you feel right now. So the other thing that I've been noticing is that it seems like everyone here has known these guys, or at least one of them, for a decade. I've actually only known them for about a year, probably even less so. But what I can say is that even when you know them less than a year, you can see their relationship. You can see how real it is. You can see that there's no sort of like, we've been together a while, what do you want to do today, honey? They're still so excited. They're still so in love. And there's just really nothing more pure and true than that. It's inspiring for me and my relationship. I'm sure it's inspiring for everyone else here as well. And I love you both.
I've been friends with Max and Teddy for, I don't know, 5, 6 years. I don't know. And I guess I was friends with Teddy first. I doubt it. It was close enough. And I would call her my soul sister. We were soul sisters, I think, kind of immediately, and have a lot of common perspectives and common experiences. And I'm not really sure what I'm saying, but I feel moved, even despite my perspective on these aspects of union, as you both know, to share my love for you both, and to share the fact that I'm present here because I support your union, and I will continue to be a part of your union as your friend in that way, to support the path that you chose. And the adventure continues. Teddy is one of my adventure buddies, and Teddy says, hey, you want to come over to Europe next week and we'll go on a cruise? And I say, yeah, let's go. And then we're on the cruise, and she's like, do you think we should just go to the spa instead of going off the boat? And I'm like, yeah. And then she's like, hey, I'm going to go to Boulder. You want to come? I'm like, yeah, let's move to Boulder. So we moved to Boulder. And then they came in one morning to my room, and then Max, Teddy and I had been out the night before, and she went to pick up Max at the airport, and I was like, okay, we're going to go get dinner, whatever. And then they came in the next morning, and they're like, we're getting married. And I was like, yeah, what? Wait a minute, that's what we're doing now? I didn't know that. Just you, okay? You do it for me, and you show me the adventure that it can be in the new and wonderful ways. Make it your own. And I appreciate you for doing that in every way that you've made your relationship your own. I really honor that in you both, and I love you very much.
Okay, so I actually, thank you, Daddy. No. I really had no intention of talking, but this is how I say I love you, so I'm going to talk. And let's face it, I love the limelight. I remember one of the times you broke up. I stopped counting. And my brother wanted to start dating other people. I was like, what about Teddy? He said, I don't want to start any type of life that doesn't have Teddy in it. So thank you for making it official. My father used to, probably still does, randomly give my mother roses in a vase full of chocolate. This is what he does. He's romantic. And my brother grew up around this. I grew up around this. And my husband puts up with how romantic I am, and my brother needed someone who could put up with it and appreciate it. But there was also a time when he thought that the entire world was stupid, when he was a teenager. And he needed someone who would teach him that there is beauty in everybody and everything. And I can't think of a better teacher for that than Teddy. So I look forward to annoying you both many more times in the future.
What a wonderful family I'm blessed with. And I'm so delighted to welcome two more wonderful people to it.